I forgot my microphone was off. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? I do apologize. I do apologize. I know I was supposed to be on that shit like 30 minutes ago. Um, yeah, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm awake. I'm awake. And yeah, let me excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. So I know this is this is going to be a rant, about the whole martial arts and everything. Uh, whew, wow, where do I begin, man? Okay, um, wow. I think it doesn't hurt nobody to actually learn martial arts. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's great for stress relieving, man. It's very therapeutic. You know, of course, what I mean, like I practice. Well, matter of fact, it's been years since I practiced Tai Chi. I mean, I do remember like some of the movements, but it's not all there to me. But I gotta go back. I gotta go back and go back. I gotta relearn. I gotta relearn it. Even though I've been practicing like um the first few movements out of Yang families or Yang Jia Tai Chi Chuan, which means Yang family, grand ultimate fist, uh yeah, man, like I kind of see it very therapeutic, as well as um flexibility wise. um you know Yo, what's going on, Dre? What's going on, man? What's going on? My apologies, man. My apologies. It was a fight trying to get out of my bed. But I'm here. But I'm here. I'm here. It was whew, it was a fight, man, cuz after like shit, I think I practiced last night. Well, actually, it was after work. It was after work, and I was doing my good old reading. You know what I mean? This right here, this right here. Uh, yeah, dereliction is a day-to-day fight, indeed, man. Indeed, that's one of my derelictions, man. Is oh nah, I wasn't outside last night. I actually practiced inside this time. But I think Friday. Oh yeah. Oh, another one? Or is it the issue that they dropped yesterday evening? Cuz I did read hold on, let me see. Uh Give me 1 second. Yeah, I read chapter 124. Oh yeah. Oh man. Man, that's for paid. hands were laid, bro. Like, that's all I gotta say about that. That's all I gotta say about that chapter of Northern Blade, man. Oh shit. Like, hands were made, like debts were paid, hands were laid, bro. Like, uh man. You know, I never really thought that I would take the interest of reading Maywas. You know, usually because I'm a motion film and animated movie type of guy, but you know what I mean. I like a good Maywa to read, man. What's going on? What's going on, CJ? What's going on, man? What's going on, man? Sorry. I was in I was combating with my laziness this morning, so I do I do apologize. I do apologize. Something should have told me I should schedule this for 6 o'clock. You know, but I wasn't thinking. But you know, that's a mental note. Noted. If I'm going to do these early morning streams, you know, ah man, you know what? I need to make myself some coffee so I could, you know, wake the rest of myself up. Oh man. Oh, but yeah, man. Let's go into the synopsis of you know, the ancient art of Chinese long straight sword. So yeah, like cuz you know, I was searching, like, you know, on YouTube, cuz mainly, you know, YouTube is like my YouTube is like my little library. Depending 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 but I but for me, like when I use YouTube, like I actually look up like basic, like, you know, some basic like cutting techniques, like to practice, or you know what I mean, like I get it I get a inspiration of you know, putting together like a little like workout set for me, you know what works for, what works for me. um and I think you know, but I did do some recording on like some you know, basic, you know, like just doing like some basic like two-handed sword techniques and all. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna upload the first video of last night's training. Oh, and oh, good news. Um, we are 90% through completion of the second channel. Just to let everybody know out there. Yes. We are 90%. So my channel, my second channel will definitely be making its official debut. Um I'm gonna have to say Friday, because you know I'm off Friday. So and plus with a little treat. I might upload, I might do like a pre-record of like cut like doing a cutting test for this. I mean, this baby sounds, like like this baby sounds like, you know how you like when you're inside and like you hear like the wind hitting like the window pane. Yeah. Oh, thank you, CJ. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. It was. Um. This is the thing. Sunday. It was. I would say it was definitely like. I would say it was like 60% nice out. You know, 60% because it wasn't fully nice out because there was still like a little breeze here and there, what I mean? That March line, that March wind, what I mean, trying to make its, you know, trying to make its last hurrah. Cause oh my god, like I did not expect that I did not expect we would get to the 23rd of March. Like it's like, man, time does fly when you're doing content and working and practicing. Oh, and also making music. But and that's not the case. But back to the book. Um, this book, man, like, whew, say, wow. This book here, man, is man. I definitely needed this. I definitely needed this, and I would like to give a special shout out and thanks um to the author that you know did his due diligence of you know doing some research um about you know the lost art of which was almost a lost art of the Chinese longsword, the Chinese long straight sword. So a lot of hand technique. I mean, a lot of sword techniques, two-handed sword techniques. Um, of course, this book also talks about how uh, early like the True Dynasty, which were I would say correct me if I'm wrong, advisor, because we actually spoke about this the other day last week. The True Dynasty, they were like south on the southeast coast. Pretty much like pretty much like borderland to like borderline to like North Korea, or should I say back then um the Koryo dynasty and Baek J and the Baekje dynasty. But it was said that during those times the Koreans had like I believe is gumdo, right? Um they no Haidong uh gumdo, which is a Korean swordsmanship, which China's like, well, the Chinese two-handed sword, it has like a bit of I bit of a similarity towards Korean swordsmanship, because you got to remember, for those you know who who don't do global studies, or it's been a long time and we probably forgot. um yeah, during those times, Korea and China, yeah, that like they were like this, and once upon a time, during those uh I'm not gonna say Warren States period, but like it was somewhere around that time. Well, actually, yeah. It was in somewhat in the Warren States era. Um, you know, so let's give it a read because this is one of my favorite things to do. Uh, all right. So, all right. In the dedication to the bravery and wisdom of men before us, for my grandparents. This is from the author himself, Mr. Jack Chen. All right. So here's the introduction. Um, this book is an English translation of the Sword chapter found in Wu Bei Ji, military preparation manual written by Mao Yunyi, Mao Yunyi in 1621. It consists of 24 fighting stances using a two-handed long double-edged straight sword, as well as verses to describe how they are used in a fight. I'm translated them as accurately as I can while offering my interpretation to aid you in understanding them, as Chinese martial arts verses tend to be more poetic and metaphorical. They may be more than one possible interpretation. This is very true. This is very true. If you have a distinctively different interpretation suggest, please feel free to contact me at my website, www.chineselongsword.com. See, he even has his own site. Okay, so here we go. Military Preparation Manual. The third art, Straight Sword, Scroll 86. Okay, Mao Ji. In the past, swords were used in battle. Tang Dai Zhong, second emperor of Tang Dynasty, had 1,000 swordsmen. Today, these techniques are not passed on. In the bits and pieces that remained, there are songs that contain the secrets of the art. Its words are unclear. Recently, it has been a great fortune to learn from the Koreans their complete stances and technique. Admittedly, the culture lost in China can be regained back from the four major tribes. Yep. Uh okay. Not only is back from the West, noted Dangyun is a study of pronunciation of Chinese characters. So that's a fun note to keep in mind. Uh let's see. Oh, and also Shang Shu back from Japan. Note quick side note, Shang Shu is China's earliest history book. Of course, as you can see, the documentation is on the left. Note, historically, Chinese wrote from right to left, so this actually refers to the next page. Yeah, so as you can see, y'all. I never really thought about it. Like, because you know we were taught how to read from the left side, but the right side, however, because like let's think about it, right? Which finger comes in first, right? You would say the index finger, right? So now what happens? You turn that finger. The pinky becomes the first finger. See how that works? So excuse me 1 second. But as I was like reading this book, you know, just to, obtain a little bit of wisdom about the two-handed Chinese straight sword. Um how I got interested learning like the two-handed sword. You know what? It's better that I share some of y'all some of the you know some of my studies that I practice on my spare time. So give me a second. Let me just do this for a quick sec. So this guy right here, I'm sure any any um any Jet Li enthusiasts, he played a a uh, a tyrannical general in the first movie of Shaolin Temple, where the two-handed sword style this man's style right here, two-handed sword style, he invented himself from doing research. Now, as you can see, the sword that he has is not like the sword that I have here, but as you can see, the handle is very different from like the average Chinese gen. O- So like there are like I'll even go into like the prototypes of like different like Chinese straight swords as well. Um, you know, different sword maneuvers. Like this one right here, very graceful. And you can see the power in each movement. So that is yeah, yeah, very smooth. Very smooth. It took you know it was very complex when I was learning it first on my spare time. But what I did was I practiced like the first roads, the first road, like a few moves, and then like I'll just like repeat until like my muscle memory like memorizes like the movements and all. And of course, a little bit of physical physical training. Of course, like you also have to have strength when holding this holding this. I forgot how many pounds is this. But you could just imagine like back in like the ancient times. Um, like this right here is very light, but for sure, like when this came into invention, when this came into when this particular model was invented for like high ranking soldiers. It has a lot of weight. Like if you see, like if you like go into like the Chinese and their you know their artifacts of like the earlier dynasties, um have, yeah, like I would say like the ones that they have like in the museums are like very, I would say, like heavy for the average person. But for a person like myself or CJ or the advisor, um these can be light as a feather, you know, especially if you you know what I mean, doing like lifting weights. But also that's another there's another downside to that too, which I'll get to in a bit. But yeah, me and the advisor, we were talking about this thing right here, man. He was like, bruh, this looks like a lance. I was like, yeah, you know what? You're kind of right. It does. It does a little bit when you think about it. The thing is, like, you know, the handle is not, I would say, like Mr. Poodle right there. That's standing out from my other weapons of choice. Uh but yeah, yeah, we would definitely try to figure that out. Like, is it a is it a sword or is it a lance? Like, because the way how, like, if, yeah, glaive action, man, glaive action, yeah. But yeah, like the Chinese two-handed sword maneuvers, it does have a little bit of like, you know, spear skills in it, especially like, of course, like damn, you know what? Fuck it. Especially give me a second. Do a little demonstration. Uh, uh especially like when you're doing like like quick thrust. As you can see, I'm holding it from like close hand close hand grip. You see like you have enough space, like, to, so there were many like hand techniques. There were like many like hand grips on how to hold um a like a gen like this, right? So of course, slicing action, stat, thrust, of course, if you want to have a quick figure eight, this is called the clasp hand grip, where like, so like you could definitely see a lot of like long weapon maneuvers like of course, like all like weapon forms trace back to like the first basic weapon, the pole. You know, because why do I say this? Because these both weapons have the same like characteristics of attacking. You know, just like empty hand, like empty hand forms, like prime example boxing. you know you know they have you know six punches, which we call us kung fu guys, we call like shapes. Well, actually, the stances are the shapes. The punches, however, like they're just hand sequences. Um, man, what else? What else, man? But yeah, like there's a lot of you know, of course, like the book says, they had to regain their the that particular sword art, um, because the Koreans a had complete stances and technique and cutting techniques. So that's why you could see a little bit of resemblance, like in Haidong Gumdo and Chinese fencing as well. You know, but the Koreans did there what the Koreans did also had like straight sword techniques, of course, with the help of the Ming general Chi Ji Guan, who is very known for who is very well known for fending off like the Japanese pirates in the southern regions of China. Where he was known for the Mandarin Duck Formation, and also reinventing swords, reinventing their swords. Because at the time, their first encounter with the Japanese pirates, um, their technology at that time was not as efficient when they were facing the katana at that time. So of course, General Chi, when he was pushing out the pirates, he captured a of course, a prisoner of war, of from the pirates, and pretty much taught them taught him like the techniques, when really um these techniques were pretty much lost at that time. you know like I would say, like, we're going, since we're in like the Ming period, I would say, yeah, like it's been lost. It's been lost until um they had to go to I believe the Koryu kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. um No, I could be. I don't know. I could be wrong. I gotta look that up. Well, actually, the book is right here, but it doesn't really say like which kingdom in Korea that you know welcomed like that helped that actually I don't know what dynasty that actually in in China that paid a visit to Korea. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I definitely got to do some deep research on that. Um, but yeah, man, like, whew. And they also had like a video on the 24 stances in this book, which actually helped a lot. But also, of course, they also have. Hold on, let's go into the table of content real quick. Yeah, they also like right after like you've read through uh 21 all the way up to like page 150, like they show you like how to practice with this baby right here. um I got some of it. I got some of it down packed. I'm still reading. Although it's a little bit of a restriction because like my ceiling is not that high up. So, it's a page just crouching down and like, it's just a pain. But, of course, it's not like I have my other. It's not like I don't have the other sword to practice with that has like a two-handed grip. Actually, um, but boy, man, like the verses in each stances, man, like wow, like it's like there was like there was like there was like one time I had to like go back and like read the verse again and then look at the figure on the right side of the book, going back to yes, uh reading the book from the right side instead of the left. Well, some of it into the in this book, like for the most part, but not all of it. So that's a good thing. um if you're not used to reading a book from the right side of the pages, uh you know I say get used to it because I mean this they wanted to be unique, and of course. But yeah, the two-handed sword, there's actually a few. This act well actually um I would say there's only two systems, or I would say three that practice that has two-handed sword, whatever two-handed sword technique that was passed down from each school um, from generation after generation. Um, One of the three styles that actually have you know the two-handed sequences is of course northern northern mantis, um the branches like some like branches like the plum blossom tai chi plum blossom mantis, tai chi mantis. I'm not too sure about seven star mantis. They actually have a one-handed sword form, if I'm not mistaken. But the other branches that I just named, they definitely do have two-handed sword techniques. Like let's look at prime example. Prime example. So hold on, let me find it. Uh all right. So I'm just gonna go through show y'all like different like branches of Mantis Fist and their branches two-handed sword styles. So let me oops, where are we? Here we go. So advertisements, man. They make you want to pay. All right. So wait a minute, hold up. Before we start, how rude of me. How rude of me. Um Make sure you guys subscribe to Mr. Brasili. Now this form that he's about to do is this sword form act right here is part of the Tai Chi Meiwa um t- system. So pretty much in translation, Grand Ultimate Plum Blossom Mantis Fist. And what Mr. Brasili is performing is the 12 key the 12 keyword sword of Tai Chi Meiwa Tung Lung Jian. So let's get into it. So let's do this right here. For all my martial arts enthusiasts, uh, please definitely, I would definitely subscribe to him. All right, so here we go. Wasn't that wonderful? All right, so now let's look at another form. Let's look at another form by Dr.
I could
Lou.
save you some time. I've had over 30,000 drinks. I don't really chew my food, and I'm like barreling toward 40.
I just meant like
I believe this form, if I'm not mistaken, uh, hmm, doesn't really say. Oh, I also forgot. Well, after the video. And if I'm not mistaken, uh, I believe Bay, Tong Bay also has like a two-handed sword style, sword form too. So let's find that. So yeah, man, this is of course, we have some some Western two-handed sword videos, two-handed sword content, you know. All right, so give me a second, y'all. Uh, you know what? It's better that way. Ah, there's another. Here's one. Here's another southern form. I mean, it's not southern form.
戰略重地，自古常遇外侵。雙手劍就專為抵禦戰場上敵方重型嘅兵器，例如日本刀設計出嚟嘅。
因为他们那个刀，日本刀很长，我们中国这个过去的刀是带1米，短，我们的剑也是带，这是我们就到了剑场就学会啊，所以呢，我们这个发力也不行，所以说呢，在我们胶东这个地方就是演变出来了，双手也是双手握把，是增加了个杠的这个作用。哦。控杆員護法有恨意，沒啦，好快啊！呢個手咧，佢嘅要求就係話唔好擺喺呢度，擺喺呢度嘅話咧，你其實係死咗，拍到自己稍微偏少少，然之後劍尖咧對住呢個對方嘅中線嚟打嘅話，通常咧都會打上面，一打嘅時候我就擋啦，擋住佢把嘢嘅時候先落嚟，就走偏，跟住切落去，就配合埋個步法咯。哎，这个错，这个之間就呢個都係紙上打下嘅攻擊嚟嘅，用劍打佢上面一點佢，跟住咧突然間咧下一扭一轉，成個人喺呢度跳上去，啱啱好就係對方嗰個手位或者下面嘅要害位。譬如我哋團隊呢個手拍呢度去就好似嗰個點劍。
And a lot of the sword techniques in the mantis and some of the mantis branches actually have the same type of like motion sequence, like yeah, like yeah, like the same motion sequence of like chopping down, thrust, stir, you know, like it's hard. Well, it's hard to explain it with not by not like doing it. But as y'all see right here,
手咧，呢個手咧一去咗之後咧，呢個手右手就喺下面抽上去，抽完之後就哇，好有勁！佢挑同埋劈佢都有嗰個腰勁配合嘅，就是我說您那個挑啊和劈都有這個腰勁的配合，
都有這個腰勁，忽然間有勁，哎，對了，對，哇！我估唔到原來雙手劍打起上嚟都可以運用到嗰種忽略勁喺入面㗎。如果你有勁力嘅話，好簡單，大家都係揸劍或者揸刀對冚嘅話咧，有勁力嗰個係可以將對方把劍轟開，再殺入去都得。
So that's one. Here it is. This also is this is more military than like, you know, and very simple. See that technique right there? I got all mixed, all confused. None. No playing around at all. So after I play this video, we just gonna do a review of the stances that are shown on the screen too. So sit tight, because I know y'all got a lot of questions. All right, so let's just go back, replay this again. So raise the cauldron stance, right? So all right, of course we gotta abbreviate. Um, and the cool part about it is that in this book that it's in English and also like in Chinese for you in case you wanted to read the poems. Okay. Ju Ding Ju Ju Ding Shi Ju Ding Shi Ji Ji Ju Ding Ge Yi Fa Ning Ding Ge Sheng Sha. So in other words, um it's it's a raised top block. So pretty much like you know how like Japanese swordsmanship, like they have I believe this is the Jodan Kamai, then this is Midgard, um side guard, you know. But you definitely tell that, three all three of these nations, martial artists like traded notes with one another during those times. If I'm not mistaken, ninjutsu was derived from from Chinese military tactics. Now you have to remember, there were a lot of generals that fled from the mainland, that fled from China into Japan, and stumbled upon uh the natives, like places like Iga, better known as as the present Japan as Mie, if I'm not mistaken. Uh the advisor can always correct me, because he lives in Japan. He lives in Japan, so I am not above approach. I am not above any correctness, any correcting. So yeah. But okay. So as you can see, um the first stance, and let's look, we'll go to the sequence. Now that is, yeah, okay. Hold on. Point the sword stance, as you can see on the screen. I don't know, it just feels so it just feels good, like, to actually like have the book, because they go into depth on the technique, on each stance and what it's meant for. So hold on. So I don't know if y'all can see that. Hold on. So the drawings don't really do any justice, but at least there is some interpretations. So the explanation of, well, actually, let's go into the explanation of Rise to Cauldron. Okay, so this stance is used for blocking a downwards attack. Based on the third verse, it is performed by positioning the left leg and right hand forward. And the sword is held horizontally flat. Oh. Instead of like you know, I know what I mean. However, you will be receiving the full blunt impact if your sword is blocking the enemy perpendicularly, so the block should be only for a split second, because the fourth verse says that you must swiftly cut or attack the enemy's midsection, which is exposed. Yep. Okay. As you can see. Oh wait, hold on. God damn it. As you can see here. So the good thing is having the book and actually reading the explanation of each of these stances is quite important, rather than, it's kind of like if you're watching a video of a particular system, right? And you have the book with it. So it's pretty much like a guideline, and then you yeah. So it's pretty much like it's pretty much like a guideline, and then of course you have a video that to demonstrate the technique if if you're a little bit confused on how to perform the technique. But it does, the book does help by giving you a simple and yet detailed instructions on one shape after another. So this book is great. Oh man. But that's pretty much my life. Pretty much my life, man. But yeah, man, make sure like this man right here is this man right here has done his due diligence of digging up ancient like sword techniques. Well, actually, not just only swords, but other weapons too, the pole, the Shaolin staff, the spear, of course, the regular Chinese straight sword, and Chang Dao, or better known as the Mao Dao, which that sword is well known for fighting off the Wako, uh, better known as the Japanese pirates. But it is it is great to learn. Just got to get over, like, the being overwhelmed that it's so swift, smooth, and has a lot of power in each cut. So yeah, yeah, I was one of them. I was like, whew. I don't think I could practice this as much. But I practice the sword form um that you guys watched, that I posted up last night. Yeah, man, it was, I would say it was quite overwhelming. It was very overwhelming at first, just like, oh shit, like, you know but it didn't stop me from actually, like, just practicing each section step by step, different days. Like, one day I'll practice the first section, the next day I'll practice a second section, and, like, the third day, like, I'll just, like, study and practice the practice the lat practice the third section, and the last but not least, the fourth section as well. Like, yeah, because, like, they split, like, when you're doing forms, or when you're, like, doing, like, follow along, um they do split the forms in sections, so you won't be overwhelmed uh by learning the form in one shot. So yeah. Hooray. Hooray. Because shoot, I know a lot of people probably like how do you, like, wait, is it in the left hand or the right hand? You know? But I definitely say it's like practicing the two-handed sword for my size. Like, yeah. I mean, it does have a little weight to it, but it's very, very agile. Like I showed y'all that long and short weapons in the Chinese martial arts systems, like, have the same sequence of strikes, either smashing down, sweeping, you know all these all these techniques are identical to one another. Well, let me not say, well, depends, because, like, how Chinese martial arts is, like, they are split into two categories, northern and southern. Now, I did explain earlier streams of northern martial arts and southern martial arts. Um, you know, some southern martial arts actually do have um two-handed sword techniques, like the Da, which those the Da, like the ones seen in Fallout. Now that's an over exaggerated Da, but hold on, let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I swear, man, I definitely need to get a weapon rack. All right, so this is the Da, or Dai Do in Cantonese. So this particular sword here was used in the Sino-Japanese War, and this was also to I believe this was also used to combat with the Baphomet unit. Because not only that they used their Bathanets shooting, but in close combat too. That you'll see a lot of you know what? There's actually a video about Da. So let's so this is a good explanation on the Da, or better known as the military big saber.
The next movement is called Jiao, which is to call, you can say, is to coil. In many schools of swordsmanship, Jiao is a movement like this, where you have one part that stays still in space and the rest of the sword revolves around it. And this is what, when I read the description of what was there, I saw that there might be some departure from what was originally in the manual. Let's see. So we have cut up, we've cut here. Okay. Now, he's thrusting toward this side, and I need it like this. I say press the tip down. They talk about pressing the tip down onto the rifle bayonet. Now, what happens is the rifle actually he'd be trying to keep it up and not let me deflect it. When I feel his pressure by pressing down with that edge, I jowl with the rifle, with the sword. See? And so when he comes in like that, I touch. That pressure, remember they talk about sending your tip of your sword downward behind you and then stepping forward with the left foot as you cut. And that describes perfectly what happens there. There are two different responses. Well, one is to cut the hand. Another is to let it come over, and then there's the next move, which we'll describe in a moment. Once again, the way this looks is he comes in, and I meet this. When I feel his pressure, I let it come past, and then, true to the forms of nature, I begin. Now,
how Cottrell Seafood is explaining how they used to encounter with the rifle bayonet, they used it like spear skills, because remember the Japanese, the imperial military in that time, they did like take some like portions of like spearmanship with for the soldiers when they were doing like doing rifle training and close quarter combat with their bayonet. So let's continue.
In devouring distance between us while delivering a strike. So Jiao is you feel pressure, and what happens is you move, and they talk about how your footwork, it makes the cryptic message at the end of your footwork must be very good. What they're talking about is, I meet this weapon, and then I maneuver myself underneath the weapon. If you'll notice, watch this, it hits, and notice how it stays right where it is in space as you're coming around. So that is what Jiao is. And of course, you'll be moving the rifle somewhat, but the important part of it is that footwork, because you're not lifting it up. This is not Jiao. This would be toe in some schools, walleye others. But Jiao is to slip this weapon, to let it go past, and then to get by.
As you can see, demonstrated.
The next movement, you had Jiao. Well, let's start the very first movement where you're coming forward and you encounter powerfully the rifle bayonet in order to cut the lead hand. The second thing you have happening is you encounter it and slip it in order to come forward and cut. The third, which is this next possibility, is that in the form, you move aggressively to the left first, and you encounter your opponent's weapon. Whereas this one, we didn't. We met it, felt his energy, and came around. This one, you're encountering that thing, but instead of that, you take control of it, slip by it, and cut. And this is what this looks like. Let's see. Jim would come in, would move aggressively into it, pass me, and then be on top of it. So once again, a little bit slowly. I step into it. I use this to get me around past, and then I'm in. And that's what that movement is. So then you have taking it downward away from you, passing it over you, or cutting the lead hand. Three of the main ideas. And of course, if you've read the notes, the general talked about this as being very prized. Once again, footwork. Get you around that rifle bayonet as you are pulling it aside with the blade.
So, because I understand what he's saying, because like, because in Pak Mei's sword form, we have this technique where it's not as it has the same principle, but is, used practiced differently. So when we go let me see. Boom, boom, 1, 2, 3. Then we press down, then slice on the way up. So different shape, but it does have the same principles as the military saber. So I'll do it again. So it's like here. So pretty much like here. And then, of course, Jow, stern. Um, another move in a Pakme sword is where we retreat. It's where we retreat. Boom. So hope you enjoyed that little sword sequence. Um, but yeah, man. That was just my rant for today, for this morning. So I will catch you individuals Friday, because you don't want to miss Friday, because I'm going to be doing a cutting test with this bad boy here outside. So, well, I actually got a couple of empty like bottles, so I could just fill them up with water and you know what I mean? Cut away, man. So y'all can see that I got some strength. I got enough strength to cut some shit. But we'll soon see. I got until Friday. So, you know what I mean? I think today, I don't know. What do you think I'm going to do today? I think after work today, I'm going to do like some wrist conditioning drills. Different drills. So today I'm going to be today I'm going to be focusing on like uh strengthening the wrists, forearms, and of course flexibility day. Knowing damn well I definitely need to like open up my hip flexors more. I mean, I can kick high, but like without like hurting myself. But it's mainly important to stretch. And the best way of stretching, hold on. Best way of stretching or to open up your hip flexors, it's just a simple maneuver. And just make sure you have the back straight. Make sure it's you're at shoulder width. Make sure that your toes are not like make sure your knees are not in front of your toes. You want to have your knees behind your feet. Like this. Right? And then, of course, another way of stretching your hip flexors is pull bull. better known as the crouching stance. Oh, hold on. Give me a second, y'all. All right, so this is it's like you're doing the bow stance, like here, right? But you're actually going like this. It's like doing those. It's like doing side lunges, right? But you're keeping your lead foot. You're keeping your lead foot planted, and then you just what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? As you like sit, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I'll do it again. Like it's kind of like right. Now this also helps like stretching out your hip flexors. You can hold it for like however you want to hold it, 10 seconds, 20, maybe 30, just to get a little feel. That's one way. If you're really trying to like if you really want to get your like kicks high, your side kicks high, or your roundhouse kicks high, that's one of a good way to like to stretch out your hip flexors. Horse stance, and of course the crouching stance. What else? And other stretches, that you normally do before you work out. Oh damn, where's my lighter at? Every time, man. Every time I try to demonstrate for y'all, I'm always misplacing my lighter. Oh, there it is. Found one of them. But something to keep in mind, man. Something to absolutely keep in mind. Oh, and another way of I almost forgot this. Another way of opening your hips more is doing like outside like crescent kicks on each leg. I say like do 10 on each leg, and of course lunges. Lunges also helps. Also helps you what I mean, to get your axe kick down pack. Or hammer kick. But yeah, I think I covered what I needed to cover today. So now, wow, it's 7:26. Well, I got work later on. this morning. So yeah, man. Yeah. So just to let y'all know, well, y'all already, well, just a reminder. I will be debuting my second channel Friday. I'm actually excited, man. I'm actually excited. Like I can't really say it's like turning a new leaf, but you know, I don't want to mix my martial arts content with this channel when I do a lot of talking and beat making, you know. So yeah, so the martial arts content will be on the second channel. Of course I will be giving like workout tips and tutorials. So it'll be cool, man. It'll be cool. Like I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But that'll be all for me. I hope y'all enjoying your coffee, your lattes, and all that, or your tea. Well, either way, I'm a tea person and a coffee person as well. So, y'all have a good morning and catch y'all Friday. Peace.